Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got the how to make a solo leveling game. This is part 3. As you guys can tell by the time in the bottom right, I'm literally recording this like literally less than 12 hours from when you guys are seeing this. Y'all are literally seeing this, so I'm watching this for like 10 hours from now. Except if you watched it and it just came out. So sorry if I sound a little tired and stuff. It's because, I'm a little tired. It's 2 in the morning, but anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, so what I oh sorry, let me go ahead and say this is part 3 of the solo leveling how to make a solo leveling game tutorial. In this, I will include a quest frame, like a main quest frame, so you can see like where all your current quests are, just so you can keep track of it. Um you can tell by the title I introduce weapons, which means an inventory system, so you're able to equip different items and stuff that you can get from quest and whatnot, which I also updated the starter quest so that you do get the starter weapon. And then the last thing I did was I added essence stones, which is like going to be the currency system for the game. But some of the stuff I haven't really done with, it's just added so that we can do stuff with it in the future. You guys already know the drill. Leave a like and subscribe if you want me to continue the series. Just show lots of love on the video. If there's anything you want to see or any issues you find, let me know in the comments and stuff. And yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about solo leveling, the finale, since it drops today. But anyway, season 1 finale, I should say. But anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, so of course we have a lot of actually got a lot of okay. And I just remembered I did not remember to get the UI. Okay, y'all give me 1 second. I forgot to get the UI since I reset it. Okay, there we go. All right. So you guys see we have our core GUI, right? So let's open that core GUI. Y'all know how we had the notification frame and the system frame. Let's go ahead and open up the system frame, right? Gonna make a simple adjustment. All I'm going to do, right? Well, actually, I have a couple things I need to do. But first things first, let me duplicate this. You could be any one of the buttons. It really doesn't matter. You just want to duplicate it, and then you just want to send it over here. We're going to create multiple pages, right? Like the first page would be the system, obviously. Second page would be quest, and third would be the inventory system. So for the text, you're simply going to change this to a, greater than symbol or a right arrow, right? And then this is going to be our next button, right? It should be parented to the system frame, and then we're gonna change a few of these titles. The reason for that is because wait, actually, is it already? No, it's not already changed. Oh, no, 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 no. But yeah, so the reason we're gonna change, so you guys see how right now there's a space between certain things like, available points, mana level, hunter rank, how there's a space. But if I actually click to play, I don't know if you guys remember, but if I actually click play, there won't be space. So I'm gonna address that issue now, right? So we're just gonna rename this. We're gonna rename these text labels so that there's a space, right? So for example, for available points, if we want to have the space, all we need to do is put a space in between available and then leave points text label. Boom. And then for the hunter rank, same thing. The space between hunter and rank. And then for mana level, same thing applies. Mana level, right? And then boom, that'll ensure that that works and stuff. Just some slight adjustments with that, right? Then moving on, we can go ahead and well, we don't really have to disable it, but we can duplicate the system frame, control D, right? And we're going to rename this to quest frame, right? Okay, we're going to rename this to quest frame, right? Then let's go ahead and we can literally clear it out. There's no need to have all this stuff. We just need 2 text labels. So you just really just need to leave 2 text labels behind, so we can delete everything else. Boom. Of course, you're gonna rename the header to quest. Boom. Right, and then you can drag this text label up here. And then you just have set the text to like current quest by default. And then you could just increase the size a little bit just so that, it gives some room so that players can be able to, they'll be able to read whatever the quest is, or have a lot of space, read whatever the quest is, right? And boom, that's really just all we have to do for the quest frame, except we just have the buttons now to add. So let me go over to the system frame. You want to duplicate the next button. Control D, drag that over to the quest frame, close the system frame, right? You guys see how we have our next button. We actually don't have to do anything to this. We just want to duplicate it again, then drag it over, and then this is going to be our back button, right? Since this is page 2 and we want to go back to the system. So you're just going to change this to a less than symbol or a left arrow, right? So boom. Once we've done that, we are done with the quest frame. The quest frame is honestly the easier one. Now we need to set up the inventory frame, right? So then if we duplicate the quest frame, Control D, right? And then of course we're going to rename this to inventory frame. So inventory frame, boom, right? Then we're gonna go inside. Um, Obviously we can delete the next button because we don't need it right now. Maybe in the future I'll add more UI, but for right now we just need the back button, right? So we in inventory frame, let's rename, I mean sorry, not rename, let's set the text for the header wherever it is. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be our inventory, boom. Then for the, oh, did I forget to rename that? Wait, hold on, did I forget to rename that on the quest frame? Oh, I forgot to rename, make sure you also rename the text label. Okay, yeah. Current quest text label. This is for the text, I mean for the quest frame, right? Okay, boom. Anyway, so back to the inventory frame. Let me rename this to oh wait, actually I don't need this, sorry. I actually don't need this. We only need the header, and then I'm gonna insert another frame. So I'm gonna insert a frame into this frame. I'm gonna put it like kind of like right about right here. And then I'm just gonna increase the size. So like like go for like 400. And yeah, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, something like this. So like 400 by like 300 maybe? Oh no, never mind. 400 by 200. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm just gonna make it a dark blue, just a dark blue, right? So it stands out. And then you're going to rename this to items frame, and then as the name implies, it's going to be word, there's going to be a whole bunch of buttons in here of like all the items players own, so then they can equip them and stuff. So let me just double check. Okay, I'm good. So we're gonna have buttons in here that are going to be created via the script. Let's insert a UI grid layout so it'll be automatically sorted. So let's change this the X to 010, right? And then as for the cell size, I mean, you guys can go whatever you want, really. It's, you know, up to you guys' preference, but I went with 150 by 60, right? Boom. And then honestly, just like that, guys, we are done with the inventory frame. That was all we had to do. So of course, y'all already know by default, we want all of these frames, we want visible to be set to false. We do not want any of these frames to be visible by default, right? So then we are going to get into the, I guess actually before we get into the scripting, I guess it would make more sense to take care of the other stuff. So the last prerequisite would be setting up the item folder. So let's insert another folder into server storage. This is going to be our item folder. So you can really, wait, what's the item or items? I guess we'll just go to item folder. So you can rename this to item folder, right? And then we're going to actually save ourselves a whole bunch of time by taking the dagger, right, from our goblin NPC from the NPC folder. So you're going to duplicate that. You're going to throw that inside of the item folder, but like not necessarily yet though. We do have to, you know, set it up. So let's actually drag it into the toolbox, right? I mean, sorry, into the workspace. So you're then going to insert a tool into the workspace. You're going to rename said tool to dagger, or actually no, sorry, starter dagger, right? Then you're gonna insert the dagger into the starter dagger, and then you're going to insert a part into it. We need to create a handle so that the player is able to, you know, hold it correctly. So you're gonna rename said part to handle. You're gonna rename it that. Let's go ahead and move it over. So, well, first things first, the most important thing really is just to make sure that this is facing somewhat upright. So something like that, right? Plus it helps us to, you know, get the handle just right. Okay, so I'm gonna get the handle, I'm gonna move it over, right? The whole point is you want to put it where the player is going to be holding on to the sword or the dagger, I guess, right? So we want it to be like about right there. Then now we just scale it. That simple, right? So let's set the transparency to 0.5 so we can see through it, so we know how much we need to go over. Okay, so I'm going to scale this over like this, boom, right? Go down, then go boom, and then there, and then decrease this a little, and then boom. Yeah, and then just work on it like that. Pretty simple. There we go. Okay, and there's our handle, right? So then you want to set the transparency equal to 1. Can't collide, you want that to be disabled. Do not anchor this part. And then we're good to go. You can go ahead and drop the starter dagger inside of the item folder, right? And now we can get into the actual scripting. Okay. So you can close the I'm sorry, not close. You can open up the core local script. Let's scroll down. We want to go here. We want to modify this function, right? For, when you're opening the menu. So we're going to set up an if statement. So let's go here, and then we're going to say if core.GUI.systemFrame.visible is equal to true, which means the system frame is, currently visible. If that's the case, then we're just gonna make everything not visible, because that just means the player wants to close the menu. So we're simply just gonna say for IV in pairs, for GUI, get children, enter, you're gonna say v.visible is equal to false. Simple, right? Then you're gonna go after the end, and then you're gonna say else if core GUI, the opposite system frame.visible is equal to false, which means you want to make it so that you can, see the system frame. Then I'm going to actually use two for our loops. So I'm gonna, use these two, right, that I got. So you're pretty much just gonna copy and paste this, save yourself some time. Control C. You're just gonna take all of that and then just boom, drop it all there. And then that's all gonna really stay the same, if I remember correctly. Wait, also if or yeah, okay, yeah. That's all the same, and then this simply you just want to set this to true. So you just want to change all that to just true. And then yeah, that's literally it. Or at least, that part. Moving on, we scroll down, we have some work to do with this. We're expanding this function because you guys know we now have the next and back buttons to utilize, right? So if that's an ifs. So let's go right after the mouse button one click function. So then I'm gonna say if v.name, that's not how you spell name, v.name is nil equal to, in quotation marks, next button, because there's only a next button on the first page. So if it's nil equal to next button, then we can copy and paste all this. Control C and then Control V, boom. So if that's the case, then we'll just do that. Now if else if v.name is equal to next button, right, then enter. Then I'm gonna say core GUI request frame dot visible is equal to true, right? That means we're trying to go to the next button, and then I'm going to set up the next function. I'm gonna say core GUI dot quest frame dot back button dot mouse button one click connect function close parentheses, enter, right? And then I'm simply just going to say core GUI.questFrame.visible is equal to false. Then I'm going to go after this function and set up the vice versa. I'm going to say core GUI.questFrame.next button.mouse button one click, next function, close parentheses, enter. Now inside of this, I'm going to set up a system similar to yeah, I just realized I have not watched that video. Oh, well, if you plan to watch my how to make a Souls RNG game, then you'll need this code, because this is exactly how I made the inventory system for that series. But anyway, I'm going to say for I2 v2 in pairs, and we're going to say player.owned items folder, which we're going to create on the server side, and we're going to say get children, enter, right? I'm going to say if v2 dot value is equal to true, which means to play your own set item, and not core GUI dot inventory dot items frame find first child v2 dot name dot quotation marks button, which is pretty simple. It's just making sure that the text labels the text buttons aren't repeated and stuff, right? Now I'm going to create the item button. So I'm going to say local item button is of course equal to instance dot new quotation marks text button parent this to our core GUI dot inventory frame dot item frame, right? Then I'm going to say item button dot name is equal to v2 dot name dot quotation marks button, right? Enter. Then I'm going to say item button dot background color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new, right? Then for this, I just did 0, 0, 0. I guess I wasn't really going, yeah, because I used the same colors, but I didn't actually. Another thing, but I didn't really change those colors. I guess we'll go with like a blue, so like 001, I guess. Then I'm gonna say item button background background transparency is equal to 0.5. Then I'm gonna say item button dot text is equal to in quotation marks. We're gonna make the text bold. So left arrow b right arrow dot 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 quotation marks, or sorry, not quotation marks. You're then going to say string dot split v2 dot name comma in quotation marks owned. We want to remove the owned portion. We just want the name, and then you're gonna put a special bracket. So, oh sorry, you're gonna put that on the outside. On the outside, put regular brackets actually, and then the number 2, and then you're gonna say dot 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 quotation marks left arrow forward slash b. Oh sorry, left arrow forward slash b right arrow, right? Then we're gonna set the text color. So item button text color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new 1 comma 1 comma 1, right? Then item button dot rich text is equal to true, and item button dot text scaled is equal to true, right? And then we can set up the next function. We're going to say item button. This is for when you, of course, when a player wants to equip an item. So this will actually be very similar. This is actually the exact same to how my item equip system works in my strongest battle, in my how to make a battlegrounds game series. So if you watch that, then you'll notice the similarities. So mouse button, one click, right? I'm going to say connect function, close parentheses, enter. Then I'm going to say core event fire server in quotation marks equip item. That would be the name of the event. Then comma. Then you're gonna say item button dot text. You can send over the text. And I forgot one thing. We need to disable the hotbar, the default Roblox hotbar, so players can't see that, right? So we're simply just gonna say game get service starter GUI. Then you're gonna say set core GUI enabled, and then you're gonna say enum dot core GUI type dot backpack comma false, right? Then you're gonna skip 3 ends, right? I'm gonna say core GUI that inventory frame that visible is equal to true. Then one last function down here, you're gonna say core GUI that inventory frame that back, or sorry, that back button, that mouse button, one click, connect function, close parentheses, enter. Then you're gonna say core GUI that inventory frame that visible is equal to false. And boom, just like that, guys, we are done with local script. That was honestly the most changes we had to do to the script. So okay, I'm good. So really, there's not much left to do. We open up the server script. Let's copy and paste the animation folder. Control C, Control V. We want to update the name. We want to change this to now item folder. Right, Control C, Control V. Boom. There are a couple stats that I did want to add. So we're gonna need to add essence. We're gonna need to add essence stones, owned item folder, and owned stutter dagger. There's also some changes I needed to make to some things. So first, let's put let's separate hunter rank, but you can leave these names. The variable names don't matter. It's just the actual name, like the in-game name, I should say. Then put a space between monolevel. So let's see. And then available points, and then yeah, we'll keep going from here. So Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay. So first things first, let's go ahead and create the essence stones, right? So essence stones, Control C, Control V, Control V, and then put a space between this, delete the points, and then set this value, 0. Then after essence stones, I've got the owned items folder, so owned items folder, right? This is of course going to be a folder, and this will be parented to the player, right? And then there's no value for this. Control C, Control V, and then just same thing. Owned items folder. So owned items folder, right? And then I have the owned for the first one. So owned starter dagger. You get this from completing the first quest against the goblin that we set up in part 2, right? And this would be of course a bool value, which would be parented to the owned items folder. So then Control C, Control V, Control V, and then this would be Control V, right? And then by default, the value would be set to false, right? Boom. Then we make some adjustments to the data loading and data saving process. So I'm also going to add this now. So essence stones that value is equal to data 8, and then owned starter dagger that value is equal to data regular bracket 9. Then just Control C. Control V, boom, we've updated data loading, right? Now we can move down here, and then we can, I don't remember actually. Oh yeah, yeah. So now data saving. So I just need to really, I can just copy and paste this. So I can just say Control C, Control V, and then you just want to do owned items folder. And then just literally that simple. Just Control C, Control V, right? And then boom, we're done updating that. And for the last thing, we just have to add the equip item event, which is real quick. So enter, you're gonna say else if, oh sorry, not enter from there. Sorry, go right up here and then press enter. Then you're gonna say else if event type is equal to quotation marks equip item, enter, right? You're gonna say local item name is of course equal to argument number one because it's what we sent over. You're gonna set up a for loop for IV in pairs, sorry, for IV in pairs loop. So we're gonna say item folder, get children, enter, right? I'm gonna say if, then put the name. So left arrow be right arrow, because remember it's gonna have the text that makes it bold. So we're gonna have to include this. So we're gonna say dot v dot name dot quotation marks the left arrow b, or sorry, left arrow / b right arrow is equal to item name, right? And not player dot character find first child item name. This to make sure that the player isn't getting duplicate items. Then I'm gonna clone over the item if everything works. So if everything passes through the checks. So if we clone, then item, you want to parent this not to the player's backpack. You want to parent this to the player's character directly. This is so that the player can't unequip it. You just want it to be equipped at all times, right? And then I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, there was also some slight changes I had made to the module script. So one, when you complete the quest, you're gonna get some points. Your available points, you're gonna say play.stats folder.available points. That value is plus equal to 3. And then I also made it so that you get the dagger, the starter dagger. So player dot owned items folder dot owned starter dagger, that value is equal to true, right? So I'm not going to reset my data and then test this. I'm just going to set the value equal to true if it's not already set to true. But I think it'll already be set to true. So yeah, let's go ahead and test to make sure everything works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, you guys can become either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Link to either one of those options can be found in the description. I really don't know why I sound sick. It's like the weirdest thing. And anyway, if I press M, okay, boom, everything is working. You guys see how there's a space between all our stuff. Now, if I click the right arrow, boom, we're able to cycle in between quest and the system, right? And then we can also go to the inventory. So boom, boom, boom. I'm not too sure what's going on here, but if I press M, it resets, and then I'm able, okay, so that's, everything is working except that. Okay, so 2 issues. One with this, okay, so, that's weird. So like, okay. So first of all, I know what the issue is with the tool. Let's fix the tool first. Okay. So the issue with this is that I forgot to change the well constraint. Remember how part 1 is the right arm? So make part 1 the handle, and then boom, that issue is fixed. Now as for the UI, I'm kind of confused. Why exactly? And then that would explain it. I did 6,000 instead of 60. That would definitely explain it. Okay, boom. So just there we go. Just fix both the issues. Now if I press M and I go over, boom, starter dagger. Boom. And then I have it. And then obviously I don't have no weapon animations. I can add that later on in some future parts. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed part 3, definitely leave, like, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments and stuff. I will keep this series going because you guys seem to love the series. I enjoy making stuff for the series. So I'll definitely reach out with part 4 if you guys show the video lots of love. Thank you for watching. Hope everybody enjoys the season 1 finale solo leveling, and yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.